Seahawks cornerback Richard Sherman is loud. Opponents and media alike have heard his rants, but there is a side to the Stanford alum that some have never seen, and that's Richard Sherman, student of the game.
The tape is like my second hobby because it makes the game easier. The film's on your iPad, so I sit there in my bed and go through film all day. You can't be out there partying and think you're gonna be the best. It takes discipline on and off the field. You might play well, you might make some plays, but you're not making all the plays you could have made. I feel like I'm a decent athlete, but my tape study and my meticulous attention to detail are what makes me a good ball player.
It's Richard Sherman! Nobody's gonna touch him! Touchdown, Seahawks!
There are people that work me out as a receiver, like half the teams, and they said if I would have fell to like the 6th or 7th round, they would have took me as a receiver. It's crazy how that could have changed things.
I'm telling you, the history of Richard Sherman being a wide receiver and understanding concepts and what passing games are trying to do has been a huge feather in his cap.
A lot goes into it, man, a lot more than people think. People think you're out there. Some dudes play with pure athleticism. I'm not one of those guys. Hey, 2nd and 10. From 1st and 2nd down to 3rd down to red zone.
Hey, let's drive basic backside, drive basic.
Formations, they dictate ball games. They're not gonna just go out there and make up stuff.
Watch for the slick, watch for the slick. Watch for the slick, watch for the slick. Oh, come on, you knew that was coming. X-Nasty, alert sprint out, alert sprint out!
Having an all-pro cornerback that can communicate is an asset.
Sprint out, pick up Heath. Hey, you hear me? It was nasty on the backside with a tight end and a grave digger, and then back to the tight end side. It's sprint out every time.
Say what?
Sprint out. So it's gonna be hitch with a 7. But they're gonna run to that hitch, so they're gonna throw it. They're gonna try to out-leverage third. Yeah. And the only way you can get there is the sprint as hard as you, and you probably still ain't gonna get there. It's made to beat that coverage. It's hard.
Okay, so what do you got exactly? What are you saying?
Boot, alert boot.
Okay.
Alert boot or alert sprint out, depending on formation. But yeah, that's alert QB movement. Because he's trying to get over there to the other side so he can be in
I didn't say, I was just like, yo, X-Nasty. I'm like...
Okay, X-Nasty, alert sprint out, alert boot. Like right now, alert sprint out, alert boot. X-Nasty. See, he gonna run a hitch, he gonna run a 7, or they gonna run the ball. Let us get back in this spot.
People are like, oh man, the best corners, man, nobody throws to their side. You're not a best corner if nobody's throwing to your side. Because the best corners get picks. And they get picks because they bait quarterbacks into throwing to their side. Showing them exactly what they want to see. They want to see a picture of me closer to the #1 receiver than the #2 receiver. I will give them that at the snap. But by the time the ball comes out, I'll be where I intended to be. So I'll give him what he wants, what he thinks he's seeing. And he'll throw it and he'll be like, you sneaky, sneaky.
Richard Sherman ended the Rams' 2012 season with an interception.
Intercepted! Richard Sherman!
Tell you the truth, he hadn't really tried me all day. I was kind of pissed. Tim Jennings had just got another pick. I just watched it before we played. And so he was at 9. And I was like, so you're not going to even give me a chance to get to 8?
His 8th interception of the year, and he just baits this the whole way.
For quarterbacks like Sam Bradford, who are just off a rhythm, like bam, 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 ball, you have to be a little more sneaky. You have to let them get the picture they want. I'm showing them what they want to see. I'm giving them an illusion of sorts. They were in trips. They ran 3 verticals. And the inside vertical is simply to pull the safety out of it and ISO me against the 2 receivers.
You're splitting the difference between 2.
Exactly. But you have to play it more 80-20. 80% to the outside, 20% to the inside receiver. I was watching the quarterback's eyes and reading, and the way I played it was more 60-40 than 80-20. I felt his shoulders were aimed at #2. He got past the point of no return, and it was a play to be made.
He just totally left his receiver.
While Sherman has a PhD in sneakiness, he understands that the league's best receivers do too.
Great receivers like Fitz and Brandon Marshall and Megatron. They all have their tricks. You have to study film and learn their tricks. You have to learn what they do well, what they like to do. Call other corners and be like, man, what was that he did to you? Some grab the back of your neck and pull. Some grab the back of the jersey. I call it the Brandon Marshall, the push and pull the back of the jersey.
If I see you setting up to push off, I'm gonna grab it.
You grab it.
If I see you setting up to push off, I'm gonna grab that arm and I'm gonna say, come here. Cause you know what they ain't gonna call? Grabbing skin. Oh, I don't care. You better LeBron the hell out of it. But hey, when I grab skin, I ain't never had it called. Cause it looked like hand fighting.
For the Stanford grad, knowledge is power,
Doug, shouldn't have told me.
and he collects it on every opponent.
Right here, we're going against Fitz. He's very physical. It's tough to deal with him. I'm looking to get a good jam at the line of scrimmage and widen him to the point where he can't run a comeback route. He'll run it right out of bounds. So I don't have to worry about it anymore, so I get my head around. And Skelton tries to throw it away, but he leaves it just enough for the old wide out to get it.
Great play by Richard Sherman. Unbelievable. Keep his feet in.
What Matt Ryan likes to do is he likes to put the ball about 3 to 5 yards inside the sideline every single time. That's their breadbasket for a go route. You have to cut him off, and that's what I was attempting to do. I was trying to cut him off and beat him to his spot. Julio's a tremendous athlete, and I knew there was a chance for him to make the play if I just went to pick the ball. Now, Earl was close. I tried to tip it to Earl, but I overshot him. I mean, we talk about this all the time, that if you're ever close enough, don't hit me. I'll tip it right to you. I overshot him.
Yep. Dictate it. Dictate what they gonna do. That's what you used to do. That's what you about to do again. Cause then you ain't never worried about a fade because you know when they running it. They like, oh, gotta go. Me too. Me too. Oh, you going there? Me too. I'll see you. See you at the promised land.
The red zone is tougher because everything happens so quick. And man, they can pick you off and score a touchdown in a flash. The Jets like these bunch formations, and that's tough on man coverage. So we're running cover 2 right here. In this formation, they like to play we call it double follow. They'll run one man inside, and then the second man will act like he's going outside and then jump in right behind him.
On the Jets' double follow, Sherman was responsible for the flat.
They're trying to spread us out and hit the hole. I squeeze with the double follow. I squeeze with it so that it appears that I'm running with him. I'm running with him, but I'm really not running with him.
Richard Sherman hiding in the tall grass.
I couldn't believe he threw it. Yeah. I guess he didn't read the scout report. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coming up, the Ravens torment Andy Dalton. But straight ahead, Carolina's upset victory in San Francisco.